So I've done a lot of videos about motivation, about getting over procrastination, about getting stuff done, about achieving your dreams. And one thing that keeps coming up is identifying your why, your purpose. If you have that purpose, if you have that deep meaning about what you're doing, it's going to keep you motivated to do it. And then the natural follow-up question to that is, well, how do I know what I want? How do I know my why? And I've been thinking about this for a while. I want to make a video about it. It's the hardest question to answer, and it's annoying that I have to say it's really up to you to find it. But here's the best advice I can give. Observe. I'm not telling you to observe what I'm about to do. I'm saying observe. That's the best advice I can give. Because I think if what you're looking for is meaning, a reason for existence, I think that might be the wrong question. I don't think that's really possible. Life is long and complex. Things change. People change. The world changes. To think that there's just one thing you're here for is kind of silly. The world is made up of lots of things. And this is something I've said in an older video that I'm going to say again. When you think of all the possible questions you can ask, who, what, when, where, why, how, there's really only one question. Who, what person, where, what place, when, what time, how, what method, why, what reason. Did I forget one? Who, what, when, where, why, how. And then what? What is all of them? What is the only question? And then the answer to what is something. And the world is just a bunch of things. Bear with me. And I think what we're really craving when we're craving a purpose is a story. We all want stories. In fact, I think humanity needs stories. Stories generally involve a person, a character wanting something, a reason. They have a reason. What reason? Why? Stories are the motivating factor of everything. But stories don't come out of nowhere. They're created by situations. They're created by things. So how do you find your own story? You have to look at things. You have to observe and recognize that it's probably all made up bullshit, but it's made up bullshit that we can believe in. Again, bear with me. During times when I feel down, it generally involves not knowing what I'm supposed to do next, especially for this YouTube channel when I can do anything and I have no real direction. I'm struggling to figure out, well, what is my purpose? Why am I making things? Like, why? As a way to try to figure out what to make next. And when you get in those moods, it's very easy to think that nothing has any reason. You're lacking a story. So you have to find the story. Yes, it might feel like bullshit, but it's still real. So the other day I was in one of those moods and I was walking my dog around the block and I told myself, I'm just gonna observe. And I just started identifying stuff around me, looking at people's houses, looking at things in their lawn, looking at cars on the street, looking at stuff on the street, and just identifying it, saying it in my brain. I might have even said it out loud sometimes. I started noticing things that I never noticed before. Someone had a bird feeder on their tree, never saw it before. Various decorations around the house. I saw works in progress, gardens that were in the middle of being tended. Those right there, stories. I could come back later and check again, see the progress. That's a story. It gives you something to anticipate. It gives you a reason, however very minimal, to check on something. That's what a story is. So if you're feeling lost, if you don't know your purpose, you're probably... There's an airplane. See? Example of observing right there. You're looking for a purpose. You're probably just lacking a story. You need a story. And where do you get that story? You're probably going to have to make it up. Some people, it seems like they have it all together. They know exactly what they want to do and they go do it. That's probably because they just lucked out. They just have some natural inclination. They have a natural story within them. Something they know makes them happy and they do it. Not everyone has that luxury. I don't know why I unzipped this just now. I unzip. So you might have to build that story. And one way is doing what I said. Observe. Just literally take stock of everything around you repeatedly, daily. Call stuff out. Try to look in directions you don't normally look. Look at your neighbors' houses without being creepy. But like I'm gonna look out there right now. Neighbors across the street, they have those bags of leaves that look like a jack-o'-lantern. Clever. That's a clever thing that's been around for decades, but still, it's good to see. That wouldn't have never registered in my brain as a thing that they did because I don't look around unless I force myself to. Now I'm thinking like, why do we do that? Why do humans take a pumpkin and make a face out of it? But then also that fake thing we make another thing, a bag that references that fake thing. to rake up leaves so that we can have our grass, which is sort of like a fake nature. Why is everything fake about human beings? Isn't that interesting? Look, I'm telling a story about humanity, and we build big machines to cut down that grass as if it's like the hair on our head to make sure it's nice and neat, because we like to keep things neat. See, I could go on forever. Point is, by observing stuff repeatedly, literally calling it out, there's an eagle. I hit my computer, desk, monitor, TV that I've been meaning to move to a different room. Painting my wife got me, that's a bunch of coffee cups. And I think doing this grounds you in reality, in the actual real world, as opposed to being all up in your head thinking deeply in a meta way about life and about your deep, intense, important purpose, which in reality, it's something you just got to make up, and it's probably not that deep. I don't know. In theory, it might not work for you. Here's some other things you can do. Well, before I get into those other things you can do, I would like to thank the sponsor of this video, Beam, and their awesome cocoa that helps you sleep, Dream. And it's currently the lowest price ever, up to 50% off for Beam's Black Friday sale, so don't sleep on it. I find that if I just get enough sleep, everything feels better. And Beam helps me. I have it almost every night. And sometimes it falls from the ceiling after I'd been holding it. It's weird. Often I'm getting into some TV shows at night, staying up later than I should, but I just make this delicious cocoa. It gives me the sleepies, and I actually want to fall asleep. It helps me go to bed earlier. It helps me sleep better throughout the night and wake up feeling refreshed. You can get it with CBD or without CBD. There are lots of options of different flavors you can have. I currently have the cinnamon cocoa, but it also comes with all these good ingredients. Apoginin keeps me appa-winnin'. Reishi makes me go yay-shi. Magnesium makes me egg squeezium. L-theanine makes me L-swayanine with joy. Melatonin helps me go to bed early rather than staying up watching Ronin. I just picked a random movie. There was a clinical study with the CBD version. Reported Dream helped them get a more restful night's sleep and wake up feeling more refreshed. They sponsor me all the time because I genuinely like it and use it. So shop the Beam Black Friday sale and get up to 50% off site-wide. The lowest price Dream has ever been. Go to shopbeam.com/WheezyWaiter or scan the QR code on the screen right now. It's sold out before, so late bird gets the turd or something. So just get going. Okay, now back to a piece of advice I give pretty often: a gratitude list. List the things in your life or the people in your life. Like, set a limit. Limits help all the time. Set a limit. 5. Wake up one morning, list 5 things you're grateful for. Limit it even more. 5 people. 5 things that are the color red. I don't know. Make that list repeatedly. And then you'll just have a bunch of stuff you're grateful for. And because you're grateful for it, that's kind of giving you a reason right there. It's telling, each of those things is probably telling you a story. Example, I'm grateful for my wife. She buys me coffee mug paintings, probably other reasons. 2, modern camera and microphone technology, which allows me to ramble at you, combined with the internet, which, despite all its problems, has made my life. So I'm grateful for that. My daughter, her endless learning about the world and observing makes me realize all the things that I've taken for granted and things that I haven't looked at in the way that she looks at them. Public waterworks, which has allowed me to get water whenever I want. I mean, we run it through a filter through our refrigerator, but so I'm also thankful for my refrigerator. So I don't have to go find a lake and boil some water to make it clean enough for me to drink. That gives me an idea for a story about a guy who has to find a lake to drink water, but then he accidentally drinks poison water, and then he has to find a witch to cure him, and then he falls in love with the witch, and she buys him coffee mug paintings. I'm not saying my wife is a witch. This is entirely a fictional thing. I'm not also saying there's nothing wrong with witches. Oh boy, okay, you get the idea. I don't know, through repeatedly doing this over and over again, maybe it will coalesce into one singular why for the moment, a path, a career path you want to go on, a purpose. Maybe not, but I think it'll make you feel better. Another thing you can do, all of these things involve different ways of observing, by the way. There's this book I highly recommend called Storyworthy by a guy named Matthew Dix. There's this moth storytelling competition. There's this thing called the Moth Grand Slam. I think he's won it more times than anyone else. You get up on stage and you just tell a story. He's become a bit of a storytelling expert, and he wrote a whole book about it, and it is great. But one of the things he says, I don't think it just helps with storytelling, it just helps you appreciate your life. It's called Homework for Life. Not a great name because nobody likes to do homework, but Homework for Life. He in fact did a whole TEDx talk about it. You really should go watch that video. If you get anything from this video, it's that you should go watch that video. It will help you learn how to observe your own life. Basically, he says that his best stories, they don't come from big events. It's little things that happen in your own lives every day that go unnoticed. So you have to notice them. At the end of every day, he sits down, he writes 3 story-worthy things that happened to him that day. An example in that video is he's walking his dog and it starts to rain. In the past, he may have been really annoyed and angered by being out in the rain, but in this moment, he wasn't. Instead, he thought about how his dog was 14 years old, getting on in years, and this may be the last time he is ever caught in the rain with his dog. Oh, I'm getting emotional just saying it. You can build an entire story around that moment, and in fact, he did. Another similar moment in his life is when he picks up his daughter, who's also getting older, and he realizes that he's not going to be able to hold his daughter very much longer. So every night he sits down, he forces himself to recognize 3 of those things throughout the day. And as he does this more and more, he gets better at identifying these things throughout his day. He gets better at observing. And he keeps an Excel sheet of all of them. And then after a while, he just has such a rich tapestry of his own life. He's not finding a purpose or a story for his whole life. He's finding probably thousands. I've tried Homework for Life from time to time, and I've always loved it, but I haven't kept up on it very much. After doing this video, it's inspiring me to do it more, so I'm going to do it more. Because it's not teaching you to find the grand meaning in your entire life. It's teaching you to find meaning in literally everything. And that's got to make you feel better when you're doing that, doesn't it? So, if you're a young person watching this, trying to figure out your career, I don't know. Maybe this won't help you figure that out, but I think it'll make you feel good while you're trying to figure it out. Or maybe stop placing so much importance on a few decisions you're making now, knowing that life is going to change and you can roll with the punches no matter what happens. Because the truth is, you have no way of knowing whatever decision you make now, what its effect is going to be later. And also, even if you find your dream career, it seems like most people experience burnout no matter what they do eventually. Just keep observing, just keep looking for your what's everywhere. And that's what I got. That's the best advice I can give on this topic. And I hope it helps you.